Imagine you're riding down a dusty old highway, and suddenly a little girl, no older than 7, runs into the middle of the road, crying so hard she can barely breathe. And then she shouts words that freeze everyone's blood, "They're beating my mama. Please, please help." What the bikers did next, left an entire town speechless. Stay with me till the end, because this isn't just a story about heroes on motorcycles, it's about the moment strangers chose courage over comfort, and changed a family's life forever. The sun was just dipping behind the hills when the Black Iron Brotherhood, 6 bikers known more for their roaring engines than gentle smiles, were cruising toward Ridgewood. The road was quiet, the wind cool, and for once, the world felt peaceful. But that peace shattered in an instant. From the side of the road burst a tiny girl, barefoot, hair tangled, cheeks streaked with tears. She stumbled right into the middle of the lane, waving her arms desperately. Blaze, the group's leader, squeezed the brake so hard the tires screeched. The other riders stopped in a rough half-circle, hearts pounding. The little girl's chest heaved as she cried, "Please. They're beating my mama. They shut the door and won't let me in." Her name was Lily. 7 years old. And she clung to Blaze's leather vest like she'd been drowning and finally found something to hold on to. For a moment, the bikers exchanged looks, not of fear, but of fury. Children didn't lie about something like this. Not with eyes that wide. Not with hands shaking that hard. "Where?" Blaze asked, kneeling to her level. Lily pointed down a dirt path leading to a sagging old house. The windows were cracked. The yard was dead. And a man's drunken shouting echoed faintly across the field. The bikers didn't waste another second. They followed Lily, engines rumbling low. Each step made her more frantic, each shout from the house made her flinch. Blaze picked her up and set her safely behind the line of bikes. "You stay with Hawk," Blaze said gently. "We'll go get your mama." The little girl nodded, wiping her nose with her sleeve. Then the bikers walked toward the house, not as rebels, not as misfits, but as men who had all, at one point or another, wished someone had stepped in for them. Inside the house, the sound of a struggle grew louder. A man's voice slurred insults. Something crashed. A woman cried out. The bikers pushed open the door. And what they saw made their blood boil. Lily's mother, Sarah, was on the floor, bruised, covering her head with trembling hands, while a red-faced drunk stood over her, raising his fist for another blow. He didn't get the chance. Hawk grabbed him by the back of the shirt, yanking him away so hard the man slammed against the wall. Viper pinned him there while Blaze knelt beside Sarah, speaking softly, "You're safe now. Your daughter found us. We're here." Sarah looked up, dazed, tears forming. My daughter?" "She's okay," Blaze assured. "She was brave." Outside, Lily cried into Roadrunner's shoulder until she saw her mother being carried out, safe, conscious, alive. She ran forward, sobbing into Sarah's arms. The bikers stood around them, forming a protective circle, engines still rumbling like guardians ready to strike at any threat. But the night wasn't done testing them yet. Not even close. After securing the abusive man and calling the sheriff, who arrived shocked but grateful, the bikers realized something that made their hearts sink. Sarah didn't just need rescuing for tonight. She needed rescuing from her whole life. The house was falling apart. The lights flickered from old wiring. The fridge was empty except for a half carton of spoiled milk. Lily's room had no bed, just a blanket on the floor. And Sarah, still shaking, admitted in a broken whisper. "I had no one to ask for help, no one." The bikers exchanged glances. Hard ones. Determined ones. Blaze knelt again to Sarah. "You do now." The next morning, the Black Iron Brotherhood returned, this time not with fists, but with tools, groceries, blankets, and something far more powerful. A plan. They repaired the broken windows. Cleaned every corner of the house. Filled the cupboards with real food, fresh fruit, rice, flour, tins of soup, cartons of milk. Brought Lily a real bed, soft toys, clean clothes, even a night lamp shaped like a little moon. Sarah cried quietly as she watched them work. Not tears of pain, tears of disbelief. The town gathered, shocked. Some whispered, "Those bikers?" Others said, "I heard they saved a woman last night." A few simply shook their heads, unable to understand how men who looked so rough could be so gentle. But the bikers didn't care what anyone thought. They cared about Lily's smile. They cared about Sarah's safety. They cared about doing what nobody else had done. By sunset, the old house looked warm for the first time in years. Sarah stepped onto the porch with her daughter in her arms, voice soft but firm. "I don't know how to thank you." "You don't need to," Blaze said. "Just promise one thing." "What's that?" "Never think you're alone again." Lily hugged Blaze's leg. Sarah hugged her daughter, the fear finally melting away. And as the bikers rode off into the orange-gold horizon, engines roaring like thunder, the entire neighborhood stood watching. Not at criminals. Not at outcasts. But at heroes. Heroes on two wheels.